And that's it. That's how easy it is to go live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the cleanest hour in podcasting. This is the Housekeepers Podcast. And I'm very excited. You should be very excited because today we have on somebody that is just plain infectious. It's going to be a lot of fun talking with Lakeisha Harewood. Hi, Lakeisha.
How are you? I like that you said that I'm infectious. That's special.
You are infectious. I think that it's, so I want to learn all about you, but let me just say this.
Sure.
When I heard that you own your own cleaning company, I was like, it's a no-brainer. Who would not hire Lakeisha? Like, you could do anything. I can imagine you could be selling vacuums door to door. I think you'd be a natural at it.
That's a good sign because we just met. So, I mean, I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So where are you? So you're in Boston. Is that where you live now?
Yes, I live in Boston. Yes, I do.
Is that where you grew up?
Boston as well. Yes, I'm a born and raised Bostonian.
I grew up in Mansfield.
Did you? My best friend lives in Mansfield. I love Mansfield.
Really? It's always funny that kind of dichotomy. Like when I grew up in Mansfield, we hated it,
Naturally.
Of course. And then we moved to Vermont, and so we started to look at Mansfield with a nostalgic view. But born and raised in Boston, good for you.
Yeah, born and raised Bostonian for sure.
Yeah, so that's
first generation
awesome.
American as well.
Say it again.
I'm a first generation American, which means a lot as well.
Where's your family from?
My family is from the island of Barbados, which is in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do your parents do then?
Well, my mom is a registered nurse and an amazing baker. And my stepdad her husband is a contractor.
And how long has she been married to your stepdad?
I
just want to know, like, did you, so you've been kind of like, you grew up with him as a contractor?
Yeah, he's been a contractor my whole life. So they've been married they've been married 21 years. But I'm from a cleaning family. I'm from a cleaning family. My grandmother came to this country cleaning, and I got it from her, I would say.
That is fantastic. That is, I think, that's pretty common. That's the pretty common story that me too. I grew up in the cleaning business as well. My aunts and everybody, they've always, what's funny is my mom and her sisters and aunts, cousins and stuff, when I was a kid, they needed each other to babysit. Nobody could afford a babysit. There was no daycare.
Yeah, none of that.
So they legit had side hustle jobs. Everybody had a cleaning. Everybody was cleaning somebody else's house and watching the other kids, So
same. That's how it was in my family. There's about 20 grandchildren. So aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody pitched in. It's just how it goes.
I love it. I love it. And so you grew up kind of, have you ever worked for somebody else, like that whole just under, what did you, like high school jobs?
Yeah, I worked at Dunkin's at one point. That was like my second job. My very first job was a bakery. I was like a baking assistant for the most part. Yeah, I know, right? I loved it. But then I worked in retail, and then I got into restaurants, and I fell in love with the restaurant hustle, how fast-paced it is, and the money was good for what it's worth. I had my daughter at 7. I'm sorry?
Were you waitressing?
No, I was bussing tables.
Okay. All right.
I was bussing tables, and at one point I was a host and I was doing takeout, but bussing tables had to be my absolute favorite job. It was so fast. The shift went by so fast. I made good money. I could have the weekdays off. It worked.
Yeah. I have a friend who is a dishwasher, and he's like 55. And you would think a 55-year-old man washing dishes at a restaurant would be the worst. He loves it. He just loves it.
Honestly, you know what you're going in for. And I love things that show me progression. So like bussing tables and washing dishes, like you see the progression. I mean, by the end of the night, you see the progression of dishes.
Yeah.
But for bussing tables, it was like, oh, this table's done. Okay, great. Next. It's just like amazing.
Yeah, that's really fun. I've never worked in a restaurant like that. So I've never done it, but I totally understand what you're saying, like how fast paced and it's set up, tear down, set up, tear down. It would be a lot of fun. Yeah. So when did you decide that you no longer wanted to work for someone else? When did you decide to start? How did that happen?
It was amazing because I was in the middle of my shift, December 2013, and it was like my daughter's birthday was around the corner and Christmas was around the corner. I was just like, I just need more money, maybe. And then it was like, I heard this thing say, why don't you clean for yourself? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a great side hustle. So from that moment, I texted my best friend, like, I had an epiphany. I'm gonna have a cleaning service. And it was like a year after that, or 9 months, something around there, I ended up quitting that job and going full force. Or rather, they fired me.
Good for you.
Because I was getting more invested into the business more than anything. And I was starting out like posting on Craigslist, and TaskRabbit was huge for me at the time. I was getting a lot of work on TaskRabbit at the time. So much that they basically kicked me off the site. They were like, so I was like, oh, I have to fend for myself now. Okay. So then I just started doing, going literally door to door to concierge and doorman, and it's basically been history from that moment.
That is, I lived in a building in New York.
Yeah.
Like a 5-story, like a little higher, not a very big building, but big enough. And when I got there, when I moved in, the door guy said to me, he goes, if you need a housekeeper, you let me know. And I'm like, listen, I'm in the housekeeping business. I don't, but I'm super curious. I'm like, so who do you know for housekeeping? And he goes, I have 2 people that I work with, and they give me money. I refer them, and I go, all right. So how many apartments do these 2 clean? He says all of them. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good,
that's special.
Imagine there's 0 travel, right? You're going to one building and you're cleaning the whole thing.
Oh man, I've done something like that before, and it is just beautiful. Like, you can schedule your appointments really close because you're like, oh, I know I'm going to be wrapping this up. Take a 5-minute break to eat a banana, drink some water, on to the next place. That's a dream, actually.
It's so
that's
great.
A residential dream.
So great. Dream. Just banging them out, right? It's so.
If you can get them all in 1 and 2 days too, you're golden. Gosh.
So
wow.
Let's talk shop a little bit. So how do you currently advertise? Like, how do you do it? Are you still door knocking? Do you have a lot of word of mouth?
Well, I have a lot of word of mouth. It's been 6 years since that moment, basically, since I started, a little over 6 years, but word of mouth, referrals. I do a lot of social media interactions. What else do I do? I'm actually, believe it or not, I just rebranded like 4 months ago. And
really?
I am like, so pandemic changed everything in my life. I'm still a cleaner, but I had one business before that was I pioneered in Airbnb services. And I went from that to just doing simply, let me turn off my ringer here. I just went from doing that commercial, residential to simply residential. So marketing has been a journey. Marketing has been a journey. I'm like on everything. I just joined TikTok like last week, and I'm just like, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this works. I love doing videos. I love being interactive. I love showing my personality. So TikTok may work. It's just the editing aspect that is like, I can do it. It's just time consuming,
I'm on TikTok and I don't edit anything.
No,
I haven't got time to edit. I go, this is what I have. And, I imagine the same thing that you would do. And that is just highlight my business. I'm just highlighting what it's like to be in business, what it's like to try to get customers, cold calling, everything that I'm doing, conversations I'm having. When I'm walking my dog, I'm doing a video on TikTok, But I think you'd be perfect on TikTok. I think the cleaning business is perfect because you know what the cleaning business is? It's a visual.
Yes.
It's a visual medium. So we can easily show, hey, this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like after. Who are you going to call? Lakeisha.
This statement excites me because I started maybe a year ago about doing these videos like a time lapse. So it would just be sped up, and even though it took me 4 hours, it would be sped up to like 30 seconds. But people were responding to it so well. They were saying how calm and how good it made them feel. And that's what helped me pivot my business. Like, cleaning is for your mental health, like overall. That's what I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell peace of mind. I'm going to sell freedom to do other things. I'm going to sell that. Like, that's my heart anyway. That's why I'm back into just residential. I love making people's home feel good. So that video, just those type of videos have become my staples to just like showcase not only my business, but my love for cleaning and what it does for my mental health when I'm cleaning your home and what it's doing for you. And just scrolling on Instagram, you can just watch me clean a whole house in 30 seconds.
I don't want to go too far past what you just said. You just said cleaning is good for your mental health.
Yes, it is.
That is very profound. And it's so true. It is so true. And I work in nursing homes. And so I clean nursing homes. And I can't even tell you the difference between some nursing homes. Like one nursing home will be like the Taj Mahal. I mean, it's gorgeous. Everybody is on their game. And then you go to the next nursing home and it's the worst looking and it makes you feel depressed walking in. I can't even imagine living there. You're like,
right.
They're just dropping. People are dropping gloves and gauze and tissue and not picking it up. And it's like, what are they doing? It's about their mental health. It's more important than whether or not, I bathe today. If I live in a clean house, I can get away with not bathing.
You really can for a little bit.
It's a terrible analogy.
Get away with it. Yeah,
that's a terrible analogy.
Nobody will really know that you're musty. It's just the place to be amazing. So
I love that analogy, and I love that focus. I love that that's because there's a great book. There's a great book out there. I can't think of the author's name, so forgive me, but it's called Who Not How. Who Not How, right? So that's the book title, Who Not How. And it's about finding who to do things for you, not how to. Don't try to do everything. Try to do what really makes sense for you.
That's a good book, yeah.
And that's exactly what you and I sell, right? We are the who.
Yes, we are the who's.
You don't have to worry about how to clean. We'll clean it for you, right? So we're the who, and we'll worry about the how when it comes to cleaning.
Yes.
And be able to pivot and to go, you know what? I'm here for your peace of mind.
Yep.
Genius.
Yes, I am here for people's peace of mind. I already enjoy cleaning on my own. So to clean for other people is really a joy. Like, I get paid for it, but I genuinely love doing it. Like,
I do too.
Don't tell nobody, but if I could do it for free, I would. But I won't. I'm just saying. But that's how much I love it.
You don't need the money. You take the money.
Yes, I take the money. I mean, the bills need it, but me, I love it. I love everything about it. It feels good. It shows it's just, honestly, it just creates a vibe, an atmosphere and just think about your home, in your business, in your nursing home, wherever, in your car. When you get your car detailed, you're like, this is the best, newest car ever, even when it's not.
Yeah.
It's like a restoring process.
When I was a young man, I did clean houses for a company that it was a real interesting business model. The guy eventually sold the business, but he was, at the time, I thought it was kind of ridiculous. But in retrospect, I think he was really onto something. He always wanted to make sure that we were leaving something behind when we left a person's home so that they knew we were there.
You know why I'm dancing?
No, I do not. Because you do this?
Yes. I love that. I also feel the same way. I started this in the beginning of my business. I leave cookies.
I love that. Do you make the cookies?
My mother.
What?
My mother has a signature cookie for my business.
Wow.
And I just leave a
I'm
little.
I have to give you my address so I can get a cookie.
I do. Yes,
I need a mama cookie.
Address. You do. They're shortbread. They're nut free. They're friendly to everybody. Unless you don't like that type of cookie, it's friendly to allergies. But between that, I leave a cookie, and I think, who does not like to come home to a clean house and something sweet to eat? Even if you're eating well, it's just a small little something. It ain't gonna do anything too much, but you're gonna pay if you want to pay for it. Let's pay for it. You know,
so smart, so smart.
Thank you.
Know, what generally tends to happen, and I see this. I'm gonna go ahead and be sexist. I see this mostly with women than I do men. Is that when they hire somebody to come in and clean their house, they pre-clean the house.
Yes.
They pre-clean.
Yes. They pre-clean all the time. I
have never pre-cleaned in my whole life. You're lucky if you get me to rinse the dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. I don't pre-clean. I clean or I don't.
It's one or the other. Like,
you know, if I turn the sink on and there's a dish in my hand, it gets washed. I don't then put it in the dishwasher. I don't pre-clean.
I agree.
The reason that's important to know, as you already know, is because it makes it super difficult for the woman to come home, and now they have to be an investigator. Did they come? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Because it was before you left, because they were late for work, because they're like, oh my God, Lakeisha's coming. You better clean the room. Like, you better be clean. Like, what is she going to do here? I don't know what she does here, but she's not cleaning. I'll tell you that right now. We're not going to have her come into this mess.
Only a cleaner understands that, because when people be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, ma'am, sir, you're making, I need this job. This is what I'm here for. But I mean, it's what I try to do. I don't know. I'm always trying to be better at this. Is try to make people feel like, don't feel judged. Like, I love doing this. This is my job. You live here. I'm here to help you maintain this. Like, you're supposed to live here. You're supposed to live here. It's supposed to be lived in.
Of course.
If you have children, you have a pet. Like, this is lived in life.
And that is why I think it's so smart to have you're leaving a cookie behind, because there has to be proof of you coming, or proof that you've been there. You know, true. I mean, we were doing things like turning down the bed, which or we would, of course, the toilet paper, put a little sticker.
I was just gonna say that's a good one. Yeah,
we do that. He was really big on trying to teach us origami. None of us got it, so it was a terrible idea. Yeah, origami stuff. But you know what? Origami is super big in the fancier the hotel, the more likely you're going to run into ducks and swans made out of washcloths. It's so. And I just had an executive housekeeper on from India on the show, and he said that he started to make origami out of paper. Like paper ducks and goose and all that stuff, so that people could take them with them. So then it becomes like a memento for the guests to take with them. No, me too. I was like, oh, that's super creative. Super creative.
I used to have cleaners that do roses. They would do roses on the toilet paper, like a little rosebud. Some of my clients didn't like it, though. They thought it was a waste of paper. I felt the same way. It was pretty, but Holmes is like, I don't really need you to ball up a bunch of paper. So we just stopped that whole operation. I was just like, forget it, guys. Ixnay the rosebuds, please.
You know, that's funny you say that, because they usually do that with tissue boxes, right? They'll make a flower out of it.
Yes, they do that too. Yes. and people accept that a little more, because they're going to use them anyway. But the toilet paper, they were not happy about that.
I worked at a grocery store, and so I learned the fine art of display making, and I wanted to be super creative and build like all these stupid things about displays. And I remember the manager said every display the display has to be in a manner that not only invites people to take something from it, but it can't fall down when they do, right? Like,
that's so true. It has to be like multifunctional. You got to be able to see that it's pretty and also not die.
And be able to use it. And that's that whole mentality of the paper towel or the rosebuds out of the toilet paper and all that. I mean, it looks nice, but it has to be be able to be utilized too.
Absolutely.
So fun. So how many homes do you clean now? Do you clean a lot? Are you busy all the time? Or do you have space for more customers?
I have plenty of space for more customers as I'm expanding my business. I am always busy. I am busy at least 4 times a week with about 2 clients a day. I used to be busy 7 days a week. However, again, the pivot. So I'm gonna hire this summer. So fall, I will no longer be in the field. I'm gonna miss it, but business has to expand. So I got to get out of cleaning. So I'm gonna hire 3 wonderful people. I don't know them yet.
I'm sure they're lovely.
I think they're gonna be wonderful. And that way I can at least take on like more people in a day. Because I think it'd be good. I like staying busy and doing more than one person in one day, honestly. It just makes the day go by like this.
I love where your head's at. I love that you're going to start pulling back a little bit and starting to actually treat this more of a business rather than just a solopreneur kind of thing, because that's really where you're going to be able to make the most impact. You're going to be able to create jobs for other people. I mean, how amazing!
Oh my goodness! Yes.
I mean,
my heart is impact. My heart is employing people and expanding the business. Not like I said, money is great, but for me, the impact, like being a Bostonian and understanding, like some people say we're cold. We just need more love, and we need more peace of mind. There's a lot of busy working professionals here. They're building up the city like crazy, and that's great. It's great. But we need people to have peace of mind to go out and do other things, whether it's family, cook, their job, whatever. So it's like, if I come in and do my little part, I think it could impact a lot of Boston, to be totally honest. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm going. So as much as I love cleaning, I know I have to get off. I'm like a little mama bear over my cleaning. So it's like, okay, I just got to train people to do what I would do. And actually, I'm hoping to find someone better than myself. That's actually the people that I'm looking for. So to just bring so much to the table. So yeah, I'm open for new people. I'm open for more impact. I want to service people that need me, not just people that are kind of like, nah, I got the money. I want to service people that need me.
I like that a lot.
Rather.
I like that a lot. Yeah, and you're speaking a big truth, and that is, when you're talking about expansion and Boston is growing by leaps and bounds, people more and more are being asked of people who go into work, and they're asked to come in earlier, to stay later. Yes. And they just have to figure out a way. I mean, in my neighborhood, I work from home. My office is at home. So I walk my own dog.
Okay.
But everybody else has somebody else walk their dog.
I know.
There's a company that drives around here that the only thing they do is pick up dog poop. You hire them, and they come to your house, and they walk around your yard with a shovel and rake.
Are you serious?
They do it once a week, twice a month, whatever you want to contract it for, and they pick it up for you. It's not because the people in my neighborhood are lazy SOBs. It's they're that busy.
Yes.
And again, keep in mind, it's who, not how.
Right.
If there's somebody in your neighborhood who's willing and able to do that, it makes way more sense. There's a guy, Casey, in Utah, who runs a garbage can cleaning company called Bin Blasters. He cleans garbage cans. Yes.
I love to hear it.
It's amazing. And again, it just goes to show how important housekeeping is in the cleaning, but it's the 7th largest industry in the world. I mean, there's so many different aspects of it, and that people they just don't have time to do those little things. And don't you want those little things?
Yes, I agree.
For peace of mind.
Yes, for peace of mind. Imagine if I lighten your load by taking on your cleaning responsibilities. What you can be freed up to do. You walk in the house, is great. It's clean. It smells good. You have a cookie. And you're like, you know what? I think I want to cook dinner tonight. Before I do the email. Because my kitchen's clean, I might as well. Or I'm going to order takeout and sit on this clean table and do an email that I just wrapping up my day. Or maybe I want to play with my kids or walk my dog. Like whatever your peace of mind or your free of mind looks like, do that. Do just that.
Yeah.
From the year we had our homes turned into schools, daycares, workplaces. So it's like, imagine, even though you're home and I come in and I take that off your plate, how much more you will be able to be freed up in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's so great. So do you have a way that you, like a cleaning methodology that you use, when you hire people, you'll be able to go, all right, this is how we do it. We start here, then we go to this room and that room and this room and that room, and you go high, then you come low.
Yes, I do in my brain, but actually,
we're gonna have to get down on what they call paper, Lakeisha.
I know. So what's so crazy is 2 weeks ago, I had this idea to have a summer training program for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, I will teach you what I call the compassion standard, which is cleaning. You just clean with compassion. And that looks like I have a flat fee. So whatever the person needs, we just do pretty much everything for that flat fee, unless they want extra stuff like refrigerator and things like that. But it's just like, okay, if you see a mark on the wall, they didn't ask us to do it, but do that. Like you see it, wipe it. You see the window has a little kid's smudged little hand, wipe it. It's okay. And so I'm gonna put it on paper. I've already have an outline of the curriculum. So with that being said, however I feel like is the best way to clean so far, I'm gonna put that in writing in the most simple and fun way as possible.
That's awesome. And there's a lot of recent research regarding pricing and paying for things and paying for services. And there's a lot of research out there that says people are more comfortable paying for services when they have it clearly defined. Like if you had a form that said, this is what it costs to clean one room. This is 2 rooms. This is 3 rooms.
Wow.
This is a bathroom. This is a family room, right? You know what I mean? And we used to have what we call the gross fee. Do you know what a gross fee is?
No. What's that?
It's for if you have a dog and the dog had an accident in the house.
Really? Wow.
Yes, we and it only went to the housekeeper. So it was like
I love that.
I think it was like $25, maybe it was $30.
Yeah.
So it was a $30 extra charge for a gross fee.
Yeah.
And at the time when I was doing it, we didn't have cameras on our phone. We didn't even have cell phones when I was doing it. So, but it was never really even a question. We would just, report to the owner, hey, your dog had an accident in the cage, which is always the worst, because when a dog gets an accident in the cage, you ever try to clean one of those cages? I mean, you got to take it apart, bring it outside. I mean, it can be a nightmare.
It's a whole project of itself.
It's a whole project. And so we would charge like $25 or $30 for gross fee, and the housekeeper would just get that extra money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The person
I have a furry friend fee, which means if you have a furry pet, it's just extra. Just because there's times where I'm cleaning the fridge and I find your cat or a dog's hair in the fridge. And that hair is relentless. And it's so disrespectful. It goes everywhere. Like, sorry, you have your pet's hair on your milk carton. Just an FYI. That's why. It's one of the reasons why you need me. Again, peace of mind. I can get your house right for you.
No question. You know what's funny is we have a dog that sheds. I think his hair is I think we keep it in the refrigerator. To be quite honest, I think that's where it goes. I find his hair, you know, his hair goes so far that I'll be in a meeting in Ohio. And I'll be like, how did his hair come with me to Ohio?
It's like puddling around you.
Exactly. Like, this is crazy.
I love the pets, but the hair, it makes the job a little longer. That's all.
Makes
so I just have to account for it.
Yeah, it makes it a little tougher.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive by this. So it's clean. What is it called? What is your? It's Grace Cleaning Company. That's right, Grace Cleaning Company out of Boston.
Yes.
So what is your website?
My what?
How do you get a hold of you? How do people find you?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's graceclean.co. Very easy.
Excellent.
Just basically the name of my business with the .co. And
why Grace? Why Grace?
Oh God. Let's see. How can I give you a simpler answer than I'm very deep. So
I'll drink out of my tank cup as you tell me what Grace is.
Well, oh God. Well, I'm a believer, so first we'll start there. But
we're all God's children. I like that.
Right, we're all God's children. But this number 5, it represents the year of grace. So in my 5th year, I've done the best. Number-wise, salary-wise, like my business made 6 figures for the 3rd year in a row. It was just a great year, but then it all came to shambles, basically. That same year 5. And I had to pivot in the shift, and then literally, a few weeks later, COVID hit, the city shut down, and I started a whole new business. So I went from being like super successful to new business, and when I was like, I don't even know what I would name this business, that name came to my mind. It was just like Grace Cleaning, and I was like, that's typical. Why would I do that? But then I kept saying it, and I just kind of I was like, okay, it doesn't have to be Grace Cleaning Services. It can be Grace Cleaning Company, because I like that, because this is just the start of what I have plans to do. Like, this cleaning company is just the seed to do so many other great things. Plus, I feel like my personality goes with the name Grace. Like, I'm just kind. To be honest, if I could just toot my horn real quick, I'm kind. I just love being kind. I love being gracious to people. People need to know that when I clean your house, that I'm not judging you. I'm just being gracious. Like, you didn't earn this. You paid me. You didn't earn this. But I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart if there was no money transaction. So
I like that. I like approaching everything with kindness. That's really nice. That's really, really nice.
Yeah, people need it. I'm from Boston, and people say that we're cold, and I think I don't really agree all the time. I mean, unless it's like 6 feet of snow or something like that. But you just gotta warm up to us. But here I am, being born and raised Bostonian, just saying, hey, I got grace on you, and you, and you, and you, and I love to clean for you.
Yeah, that's super great. That's super great. And I think that when you get bigger, right, when you get more employees under you and you're starting to make a bigger impact, I think that's going to carry through, because you're already, from my perspective, it seems like you've already got all the right ingredients to be even more amazing. Like, you don't even know where you're going to be going. It's going to be quite. Wow. There's this great story.
Yes, I love that.
It's
hard.
Yeah, no question.
The pivot is challenging, so this is just feeding me right now.
It's this is funny. So there's this a caterpillar, turns into a butterfly, right?
Yes.
But if you were to take a caterpillar apart, if you were to just legit pull a caterpillar apart when he's in a cocoon, you would just by looking at it, you would think that all it is full of dirt. It really looks like dirt. It looks like dirt.
Wow.
And actually, you can, with science, you can actually get a real super close look and examine things.
Yeah.
But you don't have to, because all you really have to do is wait. If you wait, what you're going to find is that caterpillar has everything it needs to become an amazing butterfly.
Wow.
And that's what I would say. That
talk about going deep.
I'm just saying.
I love that. I love that.
I'm just saying
that. That is amazing, and I receive that because like I said, the pivot is challenging. It's a beautiful journey, but it's challenging.
It's super challenging. It's super challenging.
Yeah.
I'm making cold calls every day, and cold calls they're a bear. They're a bear.
Yeah.
And I'm not making cold calls to be obstructive. I'm not trying to interrupt your day. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to impose my will on you.
It's very true.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but we have a cleaning management company over here. We train housekeeping managers. If you need that, we're over here. That's the extent of my call, right?
Yeah.
But how many people are like, no, why'd you get this number? Who are you? Like,
it's like literally, I have something that probably you need. You don't gotta act like that. I probably have something you need.
I might.
If you would just give me a second, you can just still say no.
Exactly.
Oh man.
What's so funny is I was just talking to somebody and my phone rang and I said, excuse me a minute. And I answered. I'm like, oh, it's nothing. And he goes, do you always answer your phone? I was like, I'm in business. Yes, I don't even look at I don't even care. Hi.
Like, who is this? And it's just like a scam likely.
No, hi, this is Ralph. I mean, I'm always I never know if it's a potential client. And and sometimes, you know what it is? Sometimes a call is from somebody making a cold call on me. And I have mad love and respect. And I hear you all. I'm like, go ahead. Yes. I don't think that's what I'm into, but I would love to hear this pitch.
Yeah.
Are you having a good day so far? You know what I mean? Like just.
Yes. It does change your way. You change the way you talk to other people doing cold calls. You're like, I want nothing to do with this. And you're literally interrupting my dinner. But I'm going to listen to your spiel. I'm going to let you get it out. But no, thank you.
Peace and love.
No, thank you. Right?
Yeah. Peace and love.
For you.
The last thing I want to do is go, nope, click. I'm not that. I was that person until I started making cold calls.
Yeah. That was easy until you were the person on the other line. Like, but I just said hello. Why? Yeah. Like that.
Building a business is tough.
It's so tough.
It's hard. But so worth it, right? I mean, when you have a win. I didn't even get a win today, by the way. I didn't get anybody to buy anything. I made 41 phone calls today. I didn't get anybody to buy. However, in the middle of my day, around call number 14, which was like at 10 o'clock this morning, a guy answered the phone, and I had hosted a free webinar a couple of weeks ago, and he had attended the webinar. And for 5 minutes, he was just the most gracious, complimentary. Oh my God, the way you saw things, I didn't see. He didn't buy, but he made my entire day.
Yes.
I was like, I love that guy. I don't even know who he is. I love him.
That's the type of stuff that keeps you going, even if it's for that moment. Like that one call got you to all 30-something other ones.
Got me 25 more calls, 1,000,000%.
Right?
1,000,000%.
And it's just like, because you know what? Somebody's kind out there.
Yeah, it's
somebody
so good.
needs me. Somebody wants to hear. Somebody didn't get a phone call today, and they got me. It is. You never know who needs you too.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
You never know who needs you.
Do you have? Let me go. Let's leave that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to housekeeping for a quick second. Just strategy-wise. So here's another thing that the guy that I was working for did that I never agreed with. And that is he always brought his own equipment and chemicals. Like we always traveled with everything in our car. And I was always thinking to myself,
can you see my broom? Oh, I hid my broom well.
So let me ask you a question. Why not just make the homeowner own it? They probably already do.
This is true.
So you just go in and you go,
you know how many houses I've been to and they don't got stuff?
That's why you give them a list. I need a all-purpose cleaner. I need a toilet bowl cleaner. I need a deodorizer. I need some Comet or some scrubbing bubbles. I need a wood polisher. I need a floor cleaner. You know what I mean? And here's the list of things that we need. You decide if it's the name brand or not name brand. Don't care. I'm going to need a broom. I'm going to need a dustpan. I'm going to need a vacuum.
Yeah.
And then you travel. Now imagine how helpful this is to you when you're employing new people. Because now you're not asking them to go to the store. You're not asking them to bring stuff around. You don't have to get them to carry stuff. As a matter of fact,
just show up.
Matter of fact, you know what might be a good idea is what if you showed up when you get the account? Like say I hired you and you showed up with a housekeeping bucket with the high dust, little high duster, the pail, you know what I mean? Like just small toiletry things that we need on the daily, but it has Grace's Cleaning Company on it.
Listen, you are in my business. Do you understand? You are in my business. As I expand my business, this is where we're going.
See?
Yeah, I will have what I guess people would say would be merch. Not your regular merch. I will have candles soon. I will have Again, I'm here for the vibe. I'm here to set the tone. I'm here to make your house feel great. So things like that. So yes, I love that idea, and I love where you're going because I guess you can see the vision before I even speak the vision. I like you.
I don't know.
Wow.
I have a lot of teenagers in and around my house, and they're all home from college. They're all trying to get summer jobs, and I'm back here going, how about summer create your own job? How about and I'm like, how easy it is to create a job. So easy. Everybody needs their dog walked. Everybody wants their lawn mowed. Everybody. I don't think there's a person in my neighborhood who owns a lawnmower. I swear. They don't even own them.
No. Why? When you get someone to do it for you.
Exactly.
And it's just easy to throw money at a problem most times.
Well, it's not a lot of money. I'm not talking about a lot of money.
But if it's $20 to a teenager to mow all your lawn, your backyard, and everything, you didn't make that on TikTok all day.
No.
You didn't make that scrolling all day. So
no, exactly. But that's
well. My daughter's 15, and I try to bring her to work, and she doesn't like it. But I make her. So school's over, and I make her go until she gets a job. This is the summer job.
Yeah, I like it.
Good for her.
It is good for her. It's good for everybody.
Anyway.
It's 1,000,000% good for her.
Yeah.
It's and when you start using TikTok to just record, and I'm talking, I don't do but like 3-4 videos a day. I'm not on it all day. I'm working. But I'm just trying to record, just because I know that there are other people out there who are like me, have a cleaning company and are struggling.
Yeah.
And I know when I see their videos, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's a community.
It's a community. Yeah.
And when you know that you're not the only one, it makes you feel different. You're like, okay, I'm not getting picked on. All right, cool. So what else do I need to do? Let me keep going. It's like the nice guy who helped you keep making 25 more calls. It's just like I'm not alone. Somebody, even one person wants to hear me.
1,000,000%.
But can we just go back to why I want to say that I never actually considered making people have their own cleaning supplies. Believe it or not.
That's why I'm here.
Right? The one time I actually had a client that did that, they wanted specific green cleaning products. I don't love green products because they make you work a little more harder. But they're developing. That was years ago, but they're developing. However, I also like being in control of what I know works. So I have this product that will do this for this. They may buy a product for an oven that or a oven, for instance, and the oven is just so caked and baked that what they gave me, that Lysol, is not gonna work. But I have, which is still family friendly, we'll get that thing off like cake. Like a cut cake. So I like also being a full service cleaning service is good too, because it's like you don't know what you need. But I can tell them, man.
I would say this. The only time that I would consider, and this is me, not you, this is just me. The only time I would consider bringing in my own products is if they were actually paying for my signature product and I was making money on the product. Otherwise, what's the
Excuse
point?
me, Ralph. Yes, I love that. Can I just?
Otherwise, what's the point?
It's amazing.
What's the point otherwise? Otherwise, I'd rather have you do it. And by the
I
way,
love that.
and by the way, if there are some things that clean better, and as we know there are, I would put them on. I would be like, get this one. You know, don't be afraid. And because think about like this too. Chemical business, the business of chemical supply is big business, but it's very small. It's very small margins. So you have to do a lot to get a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to sell a lot of chemical to make a little bit of money.
Yeah. You're
not in the chemical business.
Mm-mm.
You're not in the supply business.
Wow.
You're in the I'm going to make you feel better where you live business. And that shouldn't cost you any more money. You don't want to go in with an expense. True. You want to go in with you and your crew.
Yeah.
And you're just cleaning it and put all the expenses on them. And then they give you money to leave. Like it's the clean.
I like the way you're thinking. So when I have inquiries and people are like, oh yes, I'll take your service. What do you need? What do you need? And I'm just like, what do I need? I'm a cleaning service. What do you think I need? I need access to your home.
Yeah. And so you're like, I don't need anything. I'll bring everything. Right. Wow. But imagine, do you have favorite cleaners? I'm asking a question I know the answer to.
I'm sorry.
You have favorite cleaners? You have favorite aromas?
I do.
You have some chemicals that you buy that you just absolutely love the smell of?
Yes, I do.
So do your clients. And you know what you just did? You just said, yeah, we're not using them.
I'll do what I want.
I'm going to do what I want. All of a sudden it's about you.
Why are you reading me? Why are you reading me? You were just reading me up and down. Up and down. Wow.
Come on now. We started this whole conversation. As we know, cleaning is about our customers, not about us. So you got to keep it about them. So
you're blowing my mind right now.
Housekeepers Podcast season.
The cleanest hour.
The cleanest hour in podcasting. I'm so happy this is helpful.
I knew this podcast was for me. This is for me. This podcast is for me.
I love it. You know what? I just started a mini episode, a mini version of this podcast. And I'm calling it, you ready for this? I'm calling it Talking Dirty with Ralph Peterson.
From one person to another that loves being deep, I love that. Talk dirty to me. I love that.
I write a weekly column called Talking Dirty, and it is all about housekeeping management. And so I just started doing a mini version of the Housekeepers Podcast. Yeah. It's a 15, 20-minute episode, just me talking about the management, something in housekeeping management that we've been dealing with and working on. And so it's a little mini episode you just heard it here first. I haven't told anybody about it yet. So.
Wow. Yes. Congratulations. Cheers. Happy birthday. Like all the congratulatory.
Yeah. Thank you. It's super fun.
That is amazing.
I just love this show. I love meeting people like you. I love talking shop. I love housekeeping.
I love talking business. I love talking cleaning. There's not a lot of people you want that talk clean. They're like, cleaning. I dread cleaning. Like what? I have a little mini segment on my Instagram. It's called Grace at Home. And it's just me cleaning my house. Like on the weekends, I'm not cleaning your
genius.
home, I'm cleaning your house.
That is genius. I love that for social media.
Like, here she goes again, doing doing a deep clean on the house once a week. Like, if we do it once a week, we won't have to do it, and it won't be expensive every time. But so Grace at Home is just like little tips people can take on for their own house.
Is that the handle? Is that the handle on Instagram?
No, it's the business handle. It's graceclean.com.
But
it's just the
Instagram?
hashtag.
On Instagram, is it graceclean.co?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about, are you on Facebook? I know you're on LinkedIn.
Yes, I
obviously.
am. Yes, I am. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook, Grace Clean. You can just look up Grace Clean Co. My website is graceclean.co. Everything is everything is Grace Clean Co.
Smart.
Yes. I like to make it very easy. You won't forget. If you don't know, see me, like when I find a business, if I see a magnet on someone's car and they don't have like much information, if I get a glimpse of the name, I usually just search in the bar of anything. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. And I just put in the name and hope that it pops up.
Yeah, me too.
I figured I'd do the same thing.
It's no longer important that you own the domain, the .com, because everybody uses Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as Google can find you, then nobody else needs to, right? So
this is true. You gotta love the Google. The Google gods is.
They make it easy. They make it super easy.
They're at your service, and I love it.
So I just wanted to ask about one of the big challenges that I have in my own cleaning business is geography. You know, sometimes somebody will call me in Ohio and I'm in New York. You know what I mean? Like I'm in New York City and they'll call me from Connecticut, which doesn't seem far, but with traffic, trust me, it takes me a day and a half to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So are you in a specific area, a geographical area? Are you targeting a specific area?
Yep. So I only target and clean as of right now to expand my business further. Greater Boston and Greater Boston only. So that's downtown, Back Bay, Beacon Hill, Seaport, and then Dorchester, Roxbury, Hyde Park. So just literally what is considered Boston. I may go out to Medford, maybe
you're almost inside that 495 loop, right? Like you're just staying inside. Yeah.
I am. Yep. I'm in that 495 loop and that's it. Other than that, granted, I do go to Providence. There is a travel fee, but I do go to Providence because, I did say I live in Boston, but if you're not from Boston, you don't understand. I live in Canton, which is about 30 miles south from the city, which is really easy and accessible. I'm your Mansfield neighbor.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but I don't actually have clients in Canton, and I don't have clients anywhere around here. So I just service apartments, condos, things like that, 2,000 square feet and under. I'm here to serve the busy working professional and entrepreneur demographic. Those are my people.
Love it. And so you do everything, right? Like weekly, bi-weekly, whatever they need. If they want you once a month, twice a month. What is the average? Is it twice a month, the average, or is it monthly?
Twice a month. A lot of people love the bi-weeklies. I think that's a good medium too. I would say cleaning house twice a month, a good cleaning will serve you well.
Deep, it
will serve you well. 4 weeks, you might after week 2, you're gonna be thinking dang, did she even come? Forget about it if you got the furry friends and the children. But if you're just in and out your house, that would be doing really good for you. But medium is every other week. I like bi-weeklies too. It gives me something to do weekly. I used to have a client, actually one of my first clients. I was doing his house twice a week.
What?
I know. Monday and Fridays. And I was going in there and I was in and out in an hour and 20 if I had to do laundry. It was nice, but it's it takes up time from serving other people too. I could do it. I love to do it, but it's just it just takes up time. I'm coming in there just to sweep your floors, really.
Yeah.
And to do your laundry. You're kind of looking for a nanny almost.
You know what? I like the idea of so here's what I like. And we have a housekeeper.
Yes.
And she comes twice
should have
a month.
Housekeepers, okay?
1,000,000%.
Normalize that.
1,000,000%. And she comes twice a month.
Okay.
And so every 2 weeks as well. And I like that when she leaves, everything is done. It's not like she's like, I don't do dishes.
Yeah.
She does the dishes. All the laundry. She doesn't go around, trying to find work, but she doesn't shy away from it either. If there's laundry, she does the laundry. If there's dishes, she just does the dishes, And I like that
right there.
I just like the whole concept of when you leave, you're leaving everything presentation, right? Because that's all I care about. COVID has put a real spotlight on housekeeping. So it's kind of weird to be us in this profession because everyone's like, COVID's really bad. And for us, it's a little good. because it, just highlighted the importance of
we became real, like knowingly essential. We've been essential.
We've
but we're
always
knowingly,
been essential.
knowingly essential. Like you can't deny it. Like you said, what? We're not.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So I like that. I like that. And I like the aspect of saying, infection prevention and spread is important. So disinfecting is important. But at the end of the day, I still want it to look good.
Yeah,
I cannot tell if it's disinfected or not disinfected, but I can tell if it's clean or dirty.
Yeah, this is true.
And so for me, it's all about clean and dirty.
Yes. I love homes with stainless steel. It gives me, it just makes it easier for me to just make the place just shine and pop. Like I'm polishing all things chrome, all things stainless steel, from your bathroom to your bedroom to your kitchen to your garage.
It's so funny. I know. It's so funny you talk about polishing chrome. I remember I can literally put myself into place where I was taught that you polish, like take your rag in the bathroom. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God, it looks like it's brand new. It did have all the scales on it.
Oh, it's so satisfying to the eyes.
So
like
satisfying.
My eyes and their eyes. Like, it's like every time I clean, I'm like, I did that. I did.
So great.
I'm like cheering myself on. I did that. It looks great. Imagine you get toothpaste from your sink in the kitchen, toothpaste and saliva and all the things, hair, makeup, all the things, right? And then they come in and all of a sudden it's like you have a brand new bathroom, brand new chrome sink, a brand new faucet. You can't be upset after that.
I agree. And like you said, like we started this whole thing, we're going to get out of here. But as we started this whole thing, it is about peace of mind.
Yes.
They don't say cleanliness is next to godliness for nothing. Mm-hmm. It's because when we walk into a clean environment, it's hard not to go,
Yes.
Clutter, dirt, streaks, stains, spills will stress you out.
Yes.
It will stress you out. It stresses me out.
It stresses me out too. And I mean, every little thing I'm always on top of, like in the car, I'm like, oh, there's so much dirt here. Oh my God. My daughter's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I know. I love it though. I love everything about it, because studies have shown that when you make your environment neat, tidy, and sanitized, you like, it's like you do the same thing for your mind. You do the same thing for your mind. You clear up the space in your mind, because it's like you're rearranging your space, your environment, your atmosphere. It's good. It's good for the mental health.
1,000,000%. I read a study once about hotel staying salesmen who are on the road, salesmen who stay in hotels.
Yeah.
And they were able to show that salesmen who stayed in very cheap accommodations sold and valued their service at a very cheap rate. And those same salesmen, if you move them into a high-end hotel, they would suddenly start selling their services and believing in themselves and their service in a higher capacity.
Sounds about clean to me.
It's 1,000,000%, and
right?
So it's not just about you and I. It's also about our kids.
Yes.
Think about what environment you're raising your kids in.
Yes.
The physical environment. That's why it's important to hire Grace Cleaning Company.
Yes.
I'm so happy you came on. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Housekeepers Podcast.
I could talk to you all day.
Well, you're not alone. I am a joy to talk to. No, that's very nice of you to say. It's very nice of you to say. Don't go anywhere. Don't hang up, but I'm going to let everybody else go. Hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Housekeepers Podcast as much as I have. And Lakeisha has. I don't know if you can tell, but she's really had a good time as well.
Yes, I did. I can't wait to smile off my face.
That's right. And as I stated, I let the cat out of the bag a little early. You can start looking for the episode, the Talking Dirty with Ralph Peterson mini episodes of the Housekeepers Podcast. That's going to be starting very, very soon. We just started recording them, and so we'll start putting them in. So make sure that when you go to the housekeeperspodcast.com that you do subscribe, and so that you'll automatically get the Talking Dirty episodes with me, which is all about my management little tips and tricks, which is based on not only my books. Did you know I've written a few books, Lakeisha?
Yes,
Not only,
I appropriately stalked you.
oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. So they're all about all the management tips and tricks that I've learned and continue to learn throughout all of the things we do in housekeeping management. So it's going to be really, really fun. So make sure you subscribe to the Housekeepers Podcast. And if you like the Housekeepers Podcast, please share it, review it, give a little review on whatever it is you're listening to, or Apple Podcast or whatever, Stitcher, it doesn't matter. We'll take all the reviews no matter where it is. And lastly, the last thing I want to say is if you are a housekeeper who are trying to get into a housekeeping management position, or if you're a housekeeping manager and you want to join a group of like housekeeping managers, please consider joining the Housekeeping Leadership Academy. It is the most great. It's the greatest thing. It's a weekly call like this. It's legit like this, except there's about, 100 of us all talking at the same time. No, it's a Housekeeping Leadership Academy. It's for housekeeping managers who support each other. It's a group coaching call. It happens every week. We have a lot of videos and support and everything that goes along with it. So consider going to the housekeepingleadershipacademy.com as well. Otherwise, for Lakeisha and myself, and don't forget to go to gracecleaning.co for everything you need, especially in Boston. Well, only in Boston at this point.
For now.
And she's going to get on TikTok. And when she gets on TikTok, you're going to want to follow her because it's going to be amazing videos. Right, Lakeisha?
It's true.
It is true. That's it for the Housekeepers Podcast. I'll see you guys later. Let me see if I can close this broadcast.